أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين بارئ الخلائق أجمعين. صلى الله على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
أما بعد فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في كتابه المجيد وقوله الحق وهو أصدق القائلين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وقالوا لولا أنزل عليه ملك ولو أنزلنا ملكا لقضي الأمر ثم لا ينظرون ولو جعلناه ملكا لجعلناه رجلا وللبسنا عليهم ما يلبسون ولقد استهزئ برسل من قبلك فحاق بالذين سخروا منهم ما كانوا به يستهزئون قل سيروا في الأرض ثم انظروا كيف كان عاقبة المكذبين. صدق الله العلي العظيم.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
These are verses 8 to 10, 8 to 12 of Surah An'am. And the translation, I'll just read it for you. And they say, why has not an angel been sent down to him? And had we sent down an angel, the matter would have certainly been decided. And then they would not have been respited. And if we had made him angel, we would certainly have made him a man. And we would certainly have made confused to them what they make confused to others. And certainly apostles before you were mocked at, but that which they mocked at encompassed the scoffers among them, saying, travel in the land, then see what was the end of the rejectors. In reference to these verses from the beginning of Surah Al-An'am, we just might go over a couple of verses every night to just base our conversation. A lot of messages, so much in any Muharram that we don't know where to start, where to finish, really, honestly. Karbala was a continuation of the work of Anbiya and Mursaleen. So if we want to really talk about Karbala, we encompass all history. Karbala is a manifestation of the Holy Quran. So if we want to talk about Karbala, we talk about the whole Quran. We want to talk about Karbala, you talk about all the akhlaq and ahkam and tafsir of Quran and seerah of Ahlul Bayt and everything. Karbala was a qiyam of haq alayhi al-batil, against truth, against falsehood. It reminds us of all those who stood up for truth against all those who stood up against the truth. Reminds you of the sacrifices and the courage of Mawla Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wassalam.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Karbala reminds you of the sacrifices and the courage and the, everything struggle of the Holy Prophet of Islam. Karbala reminds you and tells you about the future and the intiqam and revenge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala against all the batil and ahlul batil, against all those who stood against Anbiya, all those who stood against the Holy Prophet, against all those who stood against Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. The final avenger of the blood of Shuhada of Karbala, and above all the blood of Hussein ibn Ali alayhi salam. which is Imam al-Akhir al-Zaman alayhi salatu wasalam.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
One of the many topics in history is about the personality of Imam Hussain alayhi salam and the personality of Yahya ibn Zakaria. Yahya, Prophet Yahya, in English I think they call him John the Baptist. And anyway, in the riwayat, in many places we find, many narrations we find that Sayyid Shuhada, after he left Medina, especially after Makkah, all through his journey from Medina till Karbala, right? He used to remember Yahya ibn Zakaria, right? So Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salatu wasalam mentions and narrates, فَمَا نَزَلَ مَنْزِلًا وَلَارْتَحَلَ مِنْهُ إِلَّا ذَكَرَ يَحْيَى بْنَ زَكَرِيَّا. Imam Hussain alayhi salam did not stop at any place on this journey, nor did he leave any place during this journey, except that at all times he remembered Yahya, the son of Zakaria alayhi salam, وَقَتْلَهُ, and his killing, that he was killed. How he remembered? من هوان الدنيا, Imam Hussain alayhi salam said, من هوان الدنيا على الله أن رأس يحيى بن زكريا أهدي إلى بغي من بغايا بني إسرائيل. من هوان الدنيا. Hawan in Urdu means pasti. Farsi also I think pasti, you know. Zabuni. The worthlessness of dunya. Min hawan al-dunya. How debased is this world, the life of this world and everything about this world, for which people do all kinds of things. For their worldly desires, they are willing to kill prophets, they are willing to do everything, hold back every good that they could have done for others. How min hawan al-dunya ala Allah. In the eyes of Allah, the worthlessness of this dunya is such that the head of Yahya ibn Zakaria was given as a gift to a prostitute, to a woman of sinful character. It was given in a plate of gold. Min Bagaya Bani Israel. Among those of such women of Bani Israel, we will go over some of the similarities between Sayyid Shuhada and Yahya ibn Zakaria. These verses that I just translated, they mention that the kuffar, the disbelievers, they always cooked up some kind of excuse for not accepting the haqq. For example, they said, why doesn't an angel come to him instead of a human being? If it is something from heaven, an angel should bring it for us, not a human being like us. Well, now they presented their case in very different, colorful ways, One possible thing was probably that, human beings are very limited, and the spiritual world, heaven, is very big. If something requires a very massive, something to happen from the heaven, like angels or something to really make it very clear that this is from God. A human being walking up to you and saying, I am a prophet of God, what is this? So, the Quran says, وَلَوْ أَنزَلْنَا مَلَكًا. If we had sent down an angel, لَقُضِيَ الْأَمْرُ, then the matter would have been finished. Then they would not have been given any chances after that. لَقُضِيَ الْأَمْرُ. Why? Well, first of all, why the matter would be finished? But because there will be no test anymore. The whole idea is to test. The whole idea is to believe in the unseen. The whole idea is to bow and humble myself to submit without actually seeing it. Because once you see it, it's all gone. It's not a test anymore. It's like you see the answers. So you see everything, the future. Things are hidden so that we are properly tested about our, determination, resolve, our ability to give, sacrifice, ability to overcome and fight our own temptations, to resist, all kinds of opposition, to sometimes find yourself alone and yet don't give up. It's a test. In the test we are supposed to be like that. We don't know what questions are going to come in the exam. We don't know what exactly is the test like. So if the angel comes and all you see heaven and hell before you, then nobody's going to sin anymore. Nobody's going to sin. If you know, okay, this ribat I'm doing, I'm eating the dead body of my brother. I'm not going to do the ribat, right? If I know backbiting another person, spreading rumors or creating scandals or, bad mouthing somebody or whatever, if I really know what this is, or like eating the money or property of an orphan, Quran says they are eating fire in their bellies. They're entering fire into their belly. But if we really saw that the person who is stealing the money of an orphan child, if he could really see the fire that's entering his belly, he's never going to even come close to doing that, right? They used to make fun. Anbiya and Mursaleen, prophets before you, O Rasul, they were ridiculed, mocked at. But what they were mocking, that exact thing came to these people. So the haqq came to them. And of course they saw the consequence of their actions. In the past, a lot of times, we mentioned Qawm Thamud and other, And even in this case of Yahya ibn Zakaria alayhi salam, ala nabiyina wa alihi wa alayhi salam, we find that 70,000 people were killed in revenge that Allah took for the blood of Yahya ibn Zakaria. 70,000 people. And the same thing happened, same thing for Imam Hussain alayhi salam, that Imam al-Akhir al-Zaman, Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salatu wasalam. And the revenge that has already so far happened and all, will be far, far, far more than that. So but then the final chastisement awaits in the Qiyamah. And when we say Qiyamah, it's a long process, including Raj'at and then Qiyamah and then beyond that, all of that. So then say, go around the land, go travel in the earth, travel and look for yourself. Baqaya Qawm Thamud, whatever is left of the ruins of the past civilization. Cities burned down, destroyed. All of those remains, excavations, all those things that you find, you go around and look carefully. There are places in Middle East, many places, Anyway, recite a salawat. Al-Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam says about Imam Hussain, فَإِنَّهُ سَيِّدُ الشُّهَدَاء. Imam Hussain is Sayyid al-Shuhada, leader of all martyrs. وَسَيِّدُ شَبَابِ أَهْلِ الْجَنَّةِ. Imam Hussain is the leader of the youth of paradise. وَشَبِيهُ Yahya ibn Zakaria. He is just like Yahya ibn Zakaria alayhi salam. And Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari, when after the 40th day, Arba'in, the 40th day after Ashura, Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari, and another Sahabi from Kufa, the Atiyah. Together they came to Ziyarat of Sayyid Shuhada. And that event it resonated among the people. Because just like today, the rulers, they play the sectarian card, Okay, Shia Ali and Shia so-and-so, whatever. Now, Jabir ibn al-Ansari and Atiyah, they were fuqaha and ashabul Rasul from the city of Kufa and known and respected by everyone everyone. So they were from and today's term is majority, this respected them very much. So although Imam Hussain was loved by everyone, but the belief systems, how they come in the way. One believes the Imam al-Mansus min Allah, the other thing, it's this election or something, whatever the case is. But when Jabir, in protest against the killing of Sayyid al-Shuhada, he came along with Atiyah, who was a faqih also, and they took a bath, ghusl in the Ma'ul Furat, in the river of Furat, right? And he came to the qabr of Sayyid al-Shuhada alayhi salatu wasalam, right? He said some word. He said, "Fatibta hayyan wa tibta mayyitan." You were pure when you were living, and you were pure when you died. غير أن قلوب المؤمنين غير طيبة لفراقك. Right? Except that the hearts of the believers are not happy by losing you. Right? ولا شاكة في الخيرة لك. And no one is saying that what happened to you was not good, but your firaq, the fact that you are gone, has created such a void. فعليك سلام الله ورضوانه وأشهد أنك مضيت على ما مضى عليه أخوك يحيى بن زكريا. And I testify that you tread the path, you have treaded the path that your brother Yahya ibn Zakaria treaded that path. You went to the same path. That means, for Jabir to say that means he was Sahabi of Rasul, he heard it from the Holy Prophet, and people knew it. But because there was a ban on the narration of hadith, and that's why so much ignorance around the world. Right? Hadith was banned after the Holy Prophet's time. One of the biggest tragedies that happened is that after the demise of Holy Prophet, there was a ban imposed on narration of hadith. No one could say Rasulullah said this, Rasulullah said that. Even if 20 people or 50 people had heard it from Rasulullah, even if 100 people or 1,000 people or 10,000 people have heard something from Rasulullah, no one could say it without the permission of the wali and governor of the city and the officially announced mullahs who were authorized to report and narrate a hadith according to the wishes and permission of the Khalifa, so-called Khalifa al-Muslimin. But those in the close circle of Rasulullah, they resisted and they sacrificed their lives for it. Some survived to see the Karbala tragedy, or after many were killed, exiled. Abu Dharr al-Ghafari, there were many others who paid the price for speaking the truth. And truth means basically saying what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. Loud salawat. In Tafsir al-Burhan, one of the Tafasir Riwa'i, there are 16 kinds of different tafasir in Islam, commentaries of Quran, one of which is where different traditions are collected regarding every ayat of Quran. This ayat has these traditions from Rasulullah or Ahlul Bayt. So such tafasir are called tafasir Riwa'i. Anyway, Tafsir Burhan is one of those in which is narrated from the Holy Prophet of Islam. Afala unabbi'ukum, he was speaking to his companion, the Prophet of Islam, speaking to his companion. He said, should I not tell you about the likes of Yahud in our nation, the likes of those Jews of the time of the prophets of Allah who committed all those atrocities against the prophets and their followers, right? Qalu bala ya Rasulullah. Yes, O Prophet of Allah, tell us about your nation that resembles those nations, Bani Israel. قال قوم من أمتي ينتحلون بأنهم من أهل ملتي. There are those who, proudly claim that we belong to the Ummah of Rasulullah. You hear this all the time, right? Ummah Muslimah, they use this term, Ummah Muslimah. I applaud some people, who have begun to realize, Ummah Muslimah. What kind of Ummah Muslimah is this? Cutting each other's throats, raping women, throwing them off the buildings, invading other countries, in the name of Rasulullah, black flags going around, blowing up mosques. What kind of ummah the Muslimah is this? Really? To think for a minute and ask ourselves, what? What a mess. Is this anything close to, Sayyati al-Nas Zamanun, the Prophet said in the books of Ahl-Sunnah, I find, our brothers and sisters, the narration says, soon a time will come for the people that la yabqa min al-Qur'an illa rasmuhu, that nothing will remain of Qur'an except its writing. And everyone will say, Qur'an, I have Qur'an, right? وَلَا يَبْقَى مِنَ الْإِسْلَامِ إِلَّا إِسْمُهُ, and nothing of Islam will remain except its name. There will be people who call themselves Muslim, and they will be the farthest of the people from Islam. There will be people calling themselves Muslim, Ayyuhal Muslimin to each other, Ya Ayyuhal Muslim, Ya Akhil Muslim. And there will be the people farthest away from Islam. Nothing to do with Islam. Even the kuffar will be closer to Islam than those people. Really? Farthest of Islam, what does that mean? That means there will be others who will be closer. In behavior at least, actions. Right? Please recite a salawat. يَقْتُلُونَ أَفَاضِلَ ذُرِّيَّتِي, they'll kill the best of my family descendants. وَأَطَايِبْ أُرُومَتِي وَيُبَدِّلُونَ شَرِيعَتِي وَسُنَّةِ, they will change my ways, my traditions, they will commit crimes against my family. وَيَقْتُلُونَ وَلَدِي الْحَسَنِ وَالْحُسَيْنِ, they will kill my children, Hassan and Hussein. كَمَا قَتَلَ أَصْلَافُ هَؤُلَاءِ الْيَهُودِ Zakaria wa Yahya, just as their grandfathers, the grandfathers of the present day Yahud and Jews in the time of Prophet, their aslaf, their ancestors, they killed Yahya and Zakaria. The same way, a section of my nation will do similar actions against my descendants and my Sharia and my Sunnah. Allah wa inna Allah yal'anuhum kama la'anahum. Allah will curse them just like He cursed those before them, Yahud. وَيَبْعَثُ عَلَى بَقَايَا ذَرَارِيهِمْ قَبْلَ يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ هَادِيًا مَهْدِيًا مِنْ وُلْدِ الْحُسَيْنِ الْمَظْلُومِ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring up against these people, against the survivors, baqaya dhararihim. Baqaya remain, those who remain in later times from the zuriyat, from descendants of these people, right, who commit these crimes against my family, their descendants. For example, today, 1400 years have passed, we have the baqaya zuriyat of those people who killed Imam Hussain alayhi salam in Karbala. We have them. Now they are not very proud to tell us they are shajara. They are not known by who they are, which one of these belong to who, but there are those people here, right? يحرفهم بسيوف أوليائه إلى نار جهنم. And the Imam who will come to avenge the blood of Hussain ibn Ali alayhi salam will send them in the direction of the hellfire. But as I said, the blood of Yahya. Now, what was the story of Yahya alayhi salam? The king in the time of Prophet Yahya, his wife had reached an older age. They could not bear any children after that. And he did not have a male child. The king in the time of Yahya did not have a son to, succeed the throne. So his wife came to him. Sometimes evil comes from anywhere, men or women or wherever. She said, "Okay, how about you marrying my daughter?" No, his own daughter. So how about marrying your daughter and having sons? Blood in the family, have a son from your daughter, and you're someone to succeed you. She suggested. Obviously, he probably started thinking about it. And one day, his daughter came, dressed up, trying to seduce him. Really. Now, he consulted Yahya ibn Zakaria during this time. In the meantime, he consulted Prophet of Allah, how about me marrying my daughter? Is that okay? How would you? He wanted to check the response, like how would the reaction would be. It started from Yahya ibn Zakaria. So he said, no, haram, it's not allowed for you to do that. Now this word got to the ear of his wife, so she sent her daughter, their daughter, to her father. Now her father, when she acted like this, so he asked, what do you want? Like even today we say, in response, like, what do you want from me? So she said, the head of Yahya ibn Zakaria. Yahya ibn Zakaria. He said, you can't ask me for something else. Ask me for something else. He said, no, this is the only thing I ask. That's all I want. The head of Giant. Now he promised her this. Then they had whatever. Now the rule was in those times that the king, if he lied, did not keep his promise, would either be dethroned or he did that. If he brought his promise, he has to be dethroned. He cannot stay on the throne after if he breaks his promise. So that's what happened. So he basically had Prophet Yahya brought to the court, and in cold blood, in front of all the people, with no reason, nothing, he just beheaded. Prophet Yahya al-Islam was beheaded like a sheep. And then his head was presented to that girl, his daughter. He's probably of this character, It doesn't. No one becomes one fine morning. It doesn't happen like that. Everybody lives the kind of life you have. We always ask ourselves for husnul akhirah. Allah, make my akhirat good. Maybe I did a lot of wrong things in my life. I don't want to live this life in a state of sin or losing my faith. The angels of death come to me and I have nothing to say. So when this happened, well, this is so. You see the Shabbat. Allahumma salli Ya Zakaria, inna nubashshiruka bi ghulamin ismuhu Yahya lam naj'al lahu min qablu samiyya. One point similar between Imam Hussain and Yahya was that both their names had never been given to any human being before. Hussain was a name, no one had this name before Imam Hussain. And Quran says the same thing about Yahya ibn Zakaria. Ya Zakaria, we give you glad tidings of a son, ghulam ismuhu Yahya. His name is Yahya. Lam naj'al lahu min qablu samiyya. No one we have never assigned this name to anyone before Yahya. You know that Zakaria, his dua for a son was accepted in the beginning of Muharram. He was it was his time when one of the main they call them rabbis now. Prophet Zakaria was a Nabi, he was not a rabbi, but those respected saintly figures in the temple had a turn. They had to come into the mihrab. There was a special section of the mihrab of ibadat. They would come and make their dua. Zakaria received revelation over there. Wahi, when it was his turn to come to the mihrab, he did that, and he was told about Karbala. When he heard that, he just couldn't hold his tears anymore. 3 days he did not come out of mihrab. He was holding the azah of Imam Hussain. And in that azah, he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for a son. That whose sacrifice would bring him closer to the family of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yahya's love for Rasulullah was such, just as the love of Ibrahim. Ibrahim alayhi salam, when we all know Zil-Hajj is a month of sacrifice, right? With Ismail, Muharram is a month of that. And when Ibrahim alayhi salam wanted to cut the throat of sharp knife on the soft skin of his son. It wouldn't cut. Was feeling very sad. A person who was asked to kill his son, he can't, he'll be happy. Ibrahim is sad. So Allah, something wrong with my son or me, my act of sacrifice was not accepted. Ibrahim, who is the dearest to you? He says, Muhammad is the dearest. So Ibrahim, what would be more painful, something happening to you or Muhammad? He said, what if Muhammad's son was killed? Would that be more painful to you or your son? He said, Muhammad's son. Far more painful to me. I can't imagine and being able to experience something like that. Then he told him, Ibrahim told Ibrahim what would happen to Hussein ibn Ali. Quran Surah Safat talks about this. So that was the fidya, real fidya was of Ismail was the shahadat in Karbala. And the aza of Imam Hussain alayhi salam is to replace the aza of Ismail forever. The real thing was, the real sacrifice of Ibrahim alayhi salam was this sacrifice in his own zurriyat, that Imam Hussain alayhi salam from the zurriyat of Ibrahim would one day be slaughtered like that. Please say salawat. Now there are many ways Imam Hussain resembles Yahya alayhi salam. I don't have a lot of time. One thing is that there's a place in hell that is the worst of all places, which will not be given to anyone except two. One, those who killed Yahya ibn Zakaria, and those who killed Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Another thing is that the head of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, when it was brought to Sham, Damashq, the Masjid Umayyah stands at a place where used to be some kind of cathedral or something before. Later on became. Now, the same place where the head of Yahya ibn Zakaria was hung from the wall, the same exact spot the head of Imam Hussain alayhi salam was brought and hung over there for display. Yeah. And another thing is that Yahya, when his head was brought in the golden plate before the king, the head started speaking. Right? This is also in Tafsir Burhan. And the lips of Yahya were moving, and Yahya was saying, Ya hada, ittaqillah, la yahillu laka hada. You cannot have this kind of relation with your daughter. Ittaqillah, fear Allah. It was not just the king, it was announcement that this has happened. The head of Yahya was denouncing an evil practice that would have caused so much more evil in this world. Yahya would not allow that, even after being beheaded. Right? And I will tell you something that we believe, all of you. From Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam. That when the head of Imam Hussain alayhi salam was on the spear, right, it was being taken from Karbala to Kufa, brought into Kufa, and then on the way, all the 1,000 cities, all the way, villages, finally arrived in Damashq. Now, this person, whose name is Waqidat ibn Harith, he said, I was one of those people who was taking this head. I was along with these people walking, right? And I suddenly heard qira'at of Quran from the head of Hussain ibn Ali. I heard him, فَسَمِعْتُهُ يَقْرَأُ سُورَةَ الْكَهْفِ. Now Hussain was reciting Surah Al-Kahf. His head is reciting Quran. فَجَعَلْتُ أَشُكُّ فِي نَفْسِي وَأَنَا أَسْمَعُ نَغْمَةَ أَبِي عَبْدِ اللَّهِ. And I started doubting, is this what I heard? And I'm hearing it ringing in my ears. I hear this beautiful voice, with proper, beautiful voice of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. I hear this, but I cannot believe it. And then, as if Imam Hussain had read my feelings, my heart, my doubts in my heart, he said, Yabna Wakida, ama alimta anna ma'ashar al-a'imma ahya'un 'inda rabbika nurzakh. Oh Wakida, don't you know that we, the A'imma, right, are living even after we die? We are shaheed. لا تحسبن الذين قتلوا في سبيل الله أمواتا. For all shuhada, it is said, a person who is killed in the path of Allah, do not take him as a dead person. Do not consider him dead. فقلت في نفسي أسرق رأسه. Suddenly I was shocked by this. He said, I'm going to steal this head from these people. They don't know what they are doing. This is the grandson of Rasulullah. They are doing this. Suddenly, the guy, فَنَادَ يَبْنَ وَكِيدَ لَيْسَ لَكَ إِلَى ذَلِكَ سَبِيلٌ. You are not able to do that. There is no way you can do that. سَفْكُهُمْ دَمِي أَعْظَمُ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ مِنْ تَسْيِيرِهِمْ رَأْسِي. He said, killing me was worse than taking my head around from one city to another. Right? فَذَرْهُمْ فَسَوْفَ يَعْلَمُونَ. Leave them to do what they are doing. إِذَا الْأَغْلَالُ فِي أَعْنَاقِهِمْ. For the time when the chains will be put around their necks. وَالسَّلَاسِلُ يُزْحَبُونَ. Right? And these chains will be pulled and their faces will be on the ground. They'll be dragged on the streets on the day of Qiyamah also, and in this world. Yahya and Hussain ibn Ali are so much similar in so many ways. Obviously, some people, when they hear these things, they say, oh, just exaggerations. What is this? A head of a person is speaking. When our foundation in religion becomes weak, then doubts start coming to our minds. No one who is raised in a proper way would doubt these things. And sometimes it's lack of education. So we better open the books. Sometimes you have to, it's more than books, not just books. Sometimes you have to walk the path. Like you said, I've heard so many people who walked to the haram of Imam Hussain ﷺ, opened their eyes. They thought that, religion means, okay, live your life, one day you come to this place, attend this program and go home. No. There's some things about experience that you have to really allow yourself to experience certain things. That's why ziyarat is so important. That's why, siru fil ard. Travel in the land, see what aqibatul mukaththibin, how those people who killed Yahya, Hussain, how those who killed Anbiya, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what happened to them? Qawm Aad, Qawm Thabud, and so many other aqwam, nations who were destroyed. A big part of Islam is about experience. Udkhulul ard al-muqaddasa. Enter that holy city. Unshuru khifafan wa thiqalan. Go out in the way of Allah with whatever you have. You have something, take it, don't just go. Sometimes you have to go out, experience something. The Ziyarat of Abi Abdullah, one step is like 1,000 Hajj. One step is like freeing 1,000 slaves. Feeding 1,000 people, one step. So, okay, how is that possible? Well, one hadith, this student is telling you that 1,000 hadiths on this subject in other books. Open it yourself, check it. Is there any of the fuqaha, maraj taqleed, ayat izam, ghurafa, fuqaha who have any doubt about these ahadiths? I have not seen any. I have not any scholar of repute who has any doubt about any of these stories, these facts. Not seen any. I've seen them closely. Ayatullah Bahjat, Ayatullah Gulpagani, Ayatullah Raki, Imam Khomeini, Sistani, all of these. No one has expressed any doubt about any of these reports. Why am I doubting? I have not experienced certain things in Islam. I think Islam is, for example, that one book on my shelf, and that one day of one few days of Muharram. No, I have to experience it. Dive into the ocean, experience, let your whole existence feel it. It's very important. The more detached we make ourselves detached from the realities, from what is happening around the world, we are only harming ourselves, because we lose so much. I cannot even describe how much we lose. I cannot name it, like, okay, we lose knowledge, we lose this. Allah knows, أَتَحْسَبُ أَنَّكَ جِرْمٌ صَغِيرٌ وَفِيكَ انْتَوَى الْعَالَمُ الْأَكْبَرُ. Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen said, you think you are one particle in this universe? وَفِيكَ انْتَوَى الْعَالَمُ الْأَكْبَرُ. Inside you is a world bigger than this cosmos that you see with your eyes. You're unable to even know the limits of this physical universe. It just goes, it seems like a never-ending universe. Inside you is a world that's far more bigger than this universe that you see with your eyes. So how can I say how much we are losing by not being close to Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salatu wasalam? The test is, without seeing them, believing them. Without seeing the past, believe in the past. Without seeing the future, believe in the future. Without seeing why this giving of this $1 of homes is important, give it. Without knowing, why, Kaaba in the middle of that desert, hot temperature, my God. Why did Imam Ali al-Islam has this thing in his khutbah, longest khutbah of Najib al Khutbatul Qasi'ah. I'm just wrapping up. Khutbah al-Qasi'ah, Imam al-Islam mentions, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to create his house, Baytullah, in a beautiful place. Let's imagine Kaaba in Switzerland. Kaaba in North Carolina. Kaaba in, I don't know, Kashmir, beautiful place. Everybody goes there for enjoy there, and have a few tawaf, so what? Oh, Allah made Kaaba in the middle of nowhere. The place is middle of desert rock, black rocks, they're burning for God knows millions of years. The heat, there's no water over there. They have brought water, I don't know from where. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests you in ways that we don't know. And because the test is not about knowing or not knowing, it's about my tawazu. It's about my humility. The test of Allah is about my humility. Test of humility. The whole test in Islam, whole test of religion and faith is about my humility. Arrogant, humble. Arrogant, humble. Which one am I? If I'm arrogant, I will have a problem with everything. If I'm humble, I will surrender. Submit. Islam, right? Islam huwa taslim. Islam is about submission, taslim. Put your head down, Who has done that better than Hussein ibn Ali? So he becomes a role model. Great fuqaha, heard them, They say the topmost personality of history is our Prophet. Like, something about Imam Hussein al-Islam, his name always comes first. Although Rasulullah is the biggest and the topmost personality among all humanity, but Allah has wanted Imam Hussein al-Islam's name to shine everywhere. The ziyarat of Sayyid al-Shuhada brings together millions of people. They destroyed his grave, there's haram, they took away everything. There's Wahhabis 100 years ago, they used to kill and cut off hands of Zuwar of Imam Hussain. They did all kinds of nasty things. They put bombs in Pakistan, in Afghanistan, God knows, everywhere. What they did to Shias, in Bahrain, and Yemen, and Syria, and Iraq, and Lebanon, and other places. But the name of Imam Hussain al-Islam continues to influence everything in this world. This story is far from being finished. It's just, getting closer to his the real final result. And tonight, briefly, I'll speak about Janab Qasim al-Islam. Qasim, the son of Hassan Mushtaba, Qasim lam yablugh al-hulum. He had not reached the age, puberty. He was not baligh yet. When he came out, there were chants from the enemy side. Hey, Hussein has no one left. Send children now to fight. Now they don't know. Qasim begged Imam Hussein to let him go. They don't know how much nazar his mother made, what his preparation his father had made. His father also in Mustafa, in his childhood, he saw what happened to his mother. Being slapped on the street. Fatima Al-Zahra comes out of her house after she, has been crushed between the door and the wall. He falls down, and the first he wakes up, Aina Abul Hassan. They took him to the masjid. She gets up, starts walking. 40 people on the street blocking her way. How they treated her, I don't want to talk about it. She fell down again, and again she was able to get up, resting herself. Hassan has seen that. He prepared his son, Qasim, for this day. Qasim comes before. Now Ali Akbar comes to Imam Hussain Islam. Father, allow me to go and fight. Imam Hussain fa'adhanala. Ista'dhanahu fa'adhanala. Immediately Imam Hussain allowed. There's something about Qasim. Qasim from age of 3, he grew up in the house of Imam Hussain. Imam Hussain treated him as his son, grew up, prepared him for this day. Trained him, Abbas trained him. Qasim was so close to him. But what is it? Ali Akbar as Imam Hussain allows. Qasim and Imam Hussain begins to cry. Both of them cried so much. This has come in history for Hushi alayhima. That both of them fell down and fainted. So much they cried in the arms of each other, this uncle and Qasim. He wakes up. But Imam Hussein's legs are not helping. He can't get up. But he has to allow. But he cannot allow. So Qasim went back and he cried to his mother, and his mother said, remember your father gave you this ta'weez to wear for difficult times. He opened it, it was a letter inside from Imam Mushtaba to Imam Hussain. Brother, this is my zakhira for the day of Karbala. Allow him. Imam Hussain saw the writing of his brother, cried, his eyes were filled. Hassan, Sayyidah Shabab Ahl Jannah. Both are sons of Fatima al-Zahra. Now Imam Hussain allowed him. Qasim, there was no zirah, there was no armor that fit his body. He came out just. Some maqatir, they write that his buttons were even open. This was a sign that I'm an orphan. But he was so brave. Azraq, the Shami, the champion, he sent 4 sons against Qasim. Qasim killed all of them. Then Azraq came himself. He asked Qasim, you are a child. How do you want me to kill you? Qasim said, you are such a famous champion, and you have not even tied your laces on your feet. He bent down, Qasim attacked him and killed him. And from the camp, Imam Hussain and Abbas, everyone was applauding Qasim. I wish, we were all in Karbala and Qasim in that situation, this orphan of Hassan, coming out against this whole army, has achieved such glory over there against such brutal people. This was the result of the dua of his mother in the camp. Now they attacked him. They saw that Qasim, they are no match for Qasim. So they said, okay, let's stone him. Stones are sharp. They start stoning him. The living person, they start throwing stones at him. His body got injured. There are many narrations of this fact. A point came, Qasim asked for help. Ya Aba Abdullah, adrikni. Now Imam Hussain from one side of the army and Abbas ibn Ali from another direction. Now there was stampede, chaos in the army. They ran, the horses from the right got to the left. Those from the left, see these horses, they have hooves, they have been specially prepared for the battle. They can crush an animal. Now Qasim is a boy. And they come, they trample his body and he's screaming and asking in that noise. Imam Hussain al-Islam cannot locate him. Qasim is shorter in height than Nabi Abdullah. Imam Hussain al-Islam got there, tried to pick up his body. You know, his height has become more than Imam Hussain al-Islam. Then they say that Imam Hussain, when he tried to have Qasim against his chest, his legs were being dragged on the ground. Can't put his body together in his own abba. How does Imam Hussain bring this body back to the camp, to his mother? Qasim must have resembled his father so much. Seeing the face of Qasim like that, crushed completely. Imam Hussain is saying, Qasim, it is so hard for your uncle that you would ask for help and he is not able to reach you in time. I ask Allah, bihaqq al-Qasim ibn al-Hasan, oh Allah, make zuhur of Imam close. All in the time where so many children are dying in Yemen, so many children are dying across the world, our mu'mineen, so many lives in danger, oh Allah, help our people. اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج اللهم عجل لوليك اللهم عجل
Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein.